Goodfellas Sports TV, we back. Final thoughts for Sergiy Derevyanchenko, Danny Jacobs. They fighting for the vacant IBF middleweight championship of the world. This would be their both first title if they win this fight. Y'all know how we do the final thoughts. Just strictly the final thoughts. We just review the weigh-in real quick, how the fighters look, and then we give our last 2 cents on the fight in the whole. I also did a full breakdown prediction video for the fight. I'll link it to the description so you can get the full, the full knowledge on my perspective on the fight. Derevyanchenko got on the scales. I think he got on the scales first, 159.4, made the 160-pound middleweight limit. Danny Jacobs got on there 159.6 pounds, made the middleweight limit. Now, I think it's the next day weigh-in for this fight, or same day weigh-in, whatever you want to call it. I think the IBF waived the same day weigh-in for, for unification bouts only. So, they both have to stay within 170 pounds. Anything more than 170 pounds come Saturday morning, they cannot fight for the title. So it become the title only could be won by the other fighter. If they both miss the second day, same day weigh-in, the title just remains vacant, and then. Goes up to the next 2 fighters they deem worthy to fight for the IBF title. And obviously, Danny Jacobs looks amazing for this fight. I mean, he took this fight serious. Derevyanchenko, I seen Danny Jacobs a couple days ago. I'm like, whoa, Danny look amazing, man. He looked physically fit, like he took the fight really, really serious. And I seen Derevyanchenko today. I said, damn, Derevyanchenko looked fit. Took the fight really, really serious. And they both look in amazing shape. If you don't know the story, they both share the same trainer, Andre Rozier. They split the camp. They split the teams up. They both sparred together numerous times. I've seen the sparring before. Derevyanchenko actually chose Danny Jacobs. He could have chosen Mark Murray. One of the reasons he told Danny Jacobs, not because they're close friends, but Danny Jacobs had 1 fight left on HBO, so he needed to get his name out there and get some notoriety. So he wanted to step up on the HBO platform, which is said to be the last HBO fight. I heard they canceled the November-December fight they was going to have with Dimitri Bivol and Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia is to make one more appearance with Golden Boy on his own before heading to top-ranked ESPN. Check my last video for that rumor that's going around. But, yeah, Andre Rozier, the coach, he tried to stop this fight from happening many, many times. They share the same manager and everything, so should be a tough night at the office for both teams. And I'm interested in this fight. I think this is one of my favorite fights. I think it's my favorite fight of the month. Might be one of my favorite fights of the year. Friends, stablemates, very familiar with each other, but both look physically good, man. Obviously, Danny Jacobs has a huge pro experience advantage, but it's not that huge as people make it seem. Like I said in my prediction video, like I linked it to the description, if anybody forgot or just skipped that part. Derevyanchenko had 23 fights in the World Series of Boxing. It's like a pro league for like amateurs to, keep your Olympic amateur status. So he got a lot of experience, man, and he might have a fresher of the 2 bodies. Obviously, Danny Jacobs beat cancer, and he been pro for a long time, so he took a lot of abuse. Derevyanchenko ain't been, official pro for that long, so that's something to look at as well too. But it's gonna be an interesting fight, man. Derevyanchenko fight on the back foot, the front foot. Danny Jacobs fight on the front foot, the back foot. I don't think Danny Jacobs is as good when he being passive. He ain't gonna fight in, a finesse fight like he did with Triple G. I think he beat Triple G still, but I don't think he as good. I think he better when he's aggressive, when he's sitting down on his shots, and when he let his hands flow and don't load up on his shots. When Danny started loading up and sitting on his shots, Danny is a sitting duck. You know what I'm saying? If Derevyanchenko got very good footwork, step around, good punch variety. He got a really good jab, really good straight right hand, really good left hook to the head and to the head and to the body. He could be aggressive. I mean, he's a real compact, smaller in height, and smaller in stature as far as height. But he can punch. You know what I'm saying? He possesses some abilities to beat Danny Jacobs. He got a really mean right uppercut. You know what I'm saying? Real mean right uppercut. And then don't forget, Danny Jacobs can also switch right to lefty, so that may play a factor in this fight. But I just overall think this is probably going to be a fight of the year candidate. I think this is one of the best fights. I think it's a proper way to send HBO off. I think they'll eventually be back in the sport of boxing, but Yeah, I think this is one of my favorite fights of the year. And don't forget, Derevyanchenko is a PBC fighter. There are some implications with that. A lot of people are hoping and wishing Derevyanchenko bring the belt back to PBC, and somehow if Canelo fight Charlo, if he dropped the belt and stay at 168, that Jamal Charlo and Derevyanchenko could do IBF WBC clash. So, a lot of people hoping that. A lot of people saying Danny Jacobs on his last fight with Matchroom that he's going to go over and sign to the zone. Eddie Hearn said they plan on doing, Danny Jacobs, Canelo, Andrade, Canelo, Danny Jacobs, one of those fights in May with Canelo if he chooses to come back down. So, I mean, yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of possibilities, a lot of inklings. I think he will go over there and fight in his zone. He like it over there. He touching M's over there like he say he is. And a lot of people pulling for Derevyanchenko off the strength of they don't want the zone to get another strap. But you got to remember, the middleweight division has already been monopolized by HBO. It wasn't nothing moving. It was very stagnant. You had Triple G Canelo, but, Jacobs, Andrade, and the other fighters, a few fighters they had, they wasn't fighting each other. So what was the point of it? But like I said before, that's why a lot of the brothers and a lot of people pulling for Derevyanchenko to bring the belt to PBC. But I think he got a real chance, though. He got good hand speed, good jab, but he lacks that pro experience on the elite level. He only got 12 fights, but I mean, he got all the skills and all the right properties to beat Danny Jacobs, man. A lot of power. He could be aggressive. He can move his head. He got bend at the knees. He got a nice step over move, and he could have easily fought Martin Murray and not fought Danny Jacobs. That make you think: do we know something about Danny Jacobs? You know what I'm saying? And, I think everybody still questioning his chin, even after he went to war with Triple G, man. So, I think, like I said, man, watch the prediction video, and I'll get more technical in there. But I think if Danny Jacobs that showed up for the areas in the Sluggy fight show up for this fight, it's gonna be a bad. He's gonna get knocked out. Say that right now. If he don't elevate his game, if he don't listen to what Andre Rozier this fight, he get knocked out. There's no two ways around it. You know what I'm saying? He has to listen to Rozier. He can't load up. He can't be getting hit with right hands. He can't be fighting passive aggressive. He has to be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He has to put Derevyanchenko on the back foot. Derevyanchenko is very, very hittable, especially with the left hook. And he can't let Derevyanchenko dictate real estate. If this distance is fought, or this fight is fought at Derevyanchenko's, whatever Derevyanchenko wants the range to be, he's comfortable in the pocket, or if he's comfortable in the mid range, in the pocket, if he's comfortable inside on the outside, and Danny Jacobs let him dictate where the fight is gonna be fought at and what pace, Jacobs gonna get beat. But Jacobs got to be able to push this guy back, keep him at the end of his punches, and just let his hands flow. Like with Sergiy, he was loading up too much. Let your hands flow. You can't go looking for the knockout. And I think the positive thing about this is that this fight is not in Brooklyn. I think he pressed for the knockout in Brooklyn. This is in Manhattan, Madison Square Garden Theater Room. So maybe he may not be that wound up. But a lot of Brooklynites, if they fuck with Danny Jacobs, they going to go to Madison Square Garden. That energy going to be in there. It's still in New York, and that still could play against him, That still could play against him. If you go to, he at his home and everybody egging him on, he trying to load up for a shot. He got to sit there, listen to Andre Rozier. He one of the better coaches around, and let his hands flow and don't load up. But if he go out there loading up and looking for a knockout, amped up, getting out of position, squaring up, and just looking for the knockout and trying to be this power guy, or trying to be too passive with his aggression. If he anywhere in between of not being just Danny Jacobs and being the world-class fighter that we know he is, it's a possibility he can lose. It's a possibility that he can win. He could just do enough to win, because Derevyanchenko, he ain't had that much experience on this level, man. But like I say, man, it's a really, really good fight. I picked Danny Jacobs to win. I think I picked him to win by knockout. I was wavering between decision and knockout, but I think he shows up, wins his first real world title, and it shows the world that, he ain't no hoe. You know what I'm saying? Mama ain't raised no hoe. 2 Chainz. But no, man, yeah, I think he wins tomorrow night, man. And I like to see the Miracle Man beat cancer and then get a real world title. And go on and do bigger and better things, man. Ride with Danny Jacobs. And like I said, I'll link the prediction video in the description. Yeah, you know, it is. If Derevyanchenko win, I won't be mad either. I like Derevyanchenko. You know what I'm saying? But if Danny Jacobs, and I think he win, but also something to look at, the same day weigh in tomorrow. They both have to weigh 170 or below. They come in above 170, then they're not eligible to fight for this title. So that's the IBF rule. Same day weigh in. No more than 10 pounds rehydration the next morning. So it's Goodfellas Sports TV. If you want to make a donation, that link's in the description. Shout out to everybody that hold us down. One time for the one time. We're on Facebook. You can DM me for video requests or questions. Or you can email me for video requests or questions at business inquiries. My email's in the description as well. Appreciate everybody, man. We're going to continue to keep it moving and keep talking that real, trill, boxing talk. So, you know, shout out to everybody holding us down, brothers and sisters. One time for the one time. We gone.